I'm watching because I did have on, or I found the Flyers game for about 10 seconds. Saw the score, 3-0 at the basically the beginning of the third period. 3-0 Flyers losing in Detroit, Detroit. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch that. So I turned it back over to Iron Man 3. And the first thing I saw was the coked out bimbo that's in the chair when Iron Man, or what's his real name? Well, not his real name, but his character name, Tony Stark, comes in there and says, I don't know what he says. I had the volume down, but he like pops the guy head on the table and steals his gun and like kind of points it at the chick, and the chick is like, it gives him the finger gun back. Now Tony's in the room with the what is his name? The not the Kardashian, the Mandalorian. I think it's the Mandalorian, right? Whatever the character's name, Ben Kingsley plays him. And there's two bimbos in bed with him, and he's definitely a British actor with the ball capacity of a tabby cat, a calico tabby cat. And if you know, I don't know why I know this, but most calicos are female. So he has the ball capacity or the stones of a female cat. Basically, he's a pussy. Pun intended. So we got that going for us. Hey, Cool Kez in here. Right away. Good to see you. And if you're, and I put the link, I put it on LinkedIn. Oh, I forgot on LinkedIn. I could have put it on the coach's page. So yeah, I put it on LinkedIn. I put it on Twitter or X. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it Twitter. I know it's X, but just, it's Twitter. Being the nonconformist that I am. So I put it on Twitter. I put it on Instagram. Hopefully, if you're watching anywhere, come over to YouTube. And I see that Holly Tanner's here. I see Matt Marinovich is here. Thank you for being here. There's 11 people here that are watching. It's better than having nobody here. And I admit that there are folks on YouTube that have like 30 to 50 people in the audience at once. I'm like, wow, that is that, and I mean this. I'm not bitching. I'm like, that is really cool. But I'm one of those folks that I guess I'm an acquired taste. I don't have 30 people to 50 people in the audience at once. I wish. I did have it like for like interviews, like when I had Phil Villapiano on. There was quite a few people on that. It's okay. It's okay. Because I love everybody. I love everybody that watches the show. Please don't get me wrong and say like I'm a spoiled brat. The folks that watch my show for the most part are, what do you call it? They're devout. They watch the show. They watch to see what I've got put out. I like that. I like people that are here. For example, okay, Anna Diaz and Matt Marinovich are like almost always here. And I appreciate that. Matt's always in the comment section, and Anna is in the comment section. Plus, she comes on camera sometimes, right? Flyers are in trouble. I think that's Chris Lentz because he talks about the Flyers and the Phillies with me. So I'm pretty sure it's Chris Lentz. Chris is watching on Facebook. Thanks, Chris, for watching. I do appreciate it. Who else is there? Holly Tanner, late of the Holly. Holly has her own channel as well. Raider Way is here. Of course, Cool Kev's here. Cool Kev's always got the alcohol. He's always got the alcohol. He's always with the beer mugs, right? Beer's okay. Not a big beer fan. I like, well, you guys know I drink my Sweet Arnold Palmers, and every time I go to a restaurant, I get to-go cups because why not? I inundate my fridge with these little styrofoam cups or plastic cups full of my, what was it, Arnold Palmers. I like it. Why not? And yeah, the Flyers are in trouble. Brian's here. Brian Grieve, no, thank you. This should be an interesting offseason, to say the least. Ever had a mint julep? No. I'm hoping, and I'm not trying to dime him out on the spot. But when Mac Davis, who was on the show the other night, who was the owner of the Kentucky Derby winner last year, we've already discussed, and I would love to go up to Kentucky to see the Derby, hanging out with Mac, right? And if you're in Kentucky at the Derby and you're there, you got to dress up. That's fine. I'll dress in a suit. I got a real. What's the what was it like the line that was in Hoosiers? I got a dang spiffy suit. It's dang spiffy. Well, I do. I got a dang spiffy suit. I'd wear it, and I'd love to have a mint julep. Love to have a mint julep because it's a sweet drink, right? It's sweet. And yeah, and this is something that I was talking with the gentleman that is he's the Chargers expert. Think is, and I hope I didn't screw up. I think it's Robert Garcia. If it's wrong, I apologize. He was on the show last night. He's a Flyers fan, which is cool. So he has bad taste in football teams, but at least he has great taste, as far as I'm concerned, in hockey teams. And he was telling me about Kata Hot, right? And this is what, and I'm pretty sure it's Chris Lentz, because he talks on Facebook and he talks Phillies and Flyers. And say, Carter Hart has a sexual assault against him, not only him, but other players in the league and minor leagues in Team Canada. This goes back from what Mr. Garcia was saying on the show. Yes, off the show, after the show, the post game, is that Carter Hart, and it's also like the Bedard, the kid that was like the number one pick, either last year or this year, and maybe even there's all of these number one picks from the last couple of years. All these top guys at the World Hockey Championships a couple years ago, apparently there was rape and other stuff going on that was swept. It was swept. And that's bullshit. If you commit an act such as that, I don't care who you are, you need to at least be on trial. You got a good lawyer, then okay, great, you got a good lawyer, but you should at least, have, you better pay your lawyer. That's what lawyers are for. But if you did do the acts of what they said you did, what's the old expression that made the late great Robin Williams say, "Oh, you'll smoke a tire in hell for that, you will," with an Irish brogue accent. Yeah, no. If you have sexual assault, uncool, just uncool, period. By the same token, if you are charged with something and you didn't do it, and the bitch lied or the dude lied, works both ways, fuck them too. Because I've been on the receiving end, not of a sexual assault charge, no, but I've been on the receiving end of a charge against me that was bullshit. If you have a charge, if you charge somebody wrongly, I think that you should be up on charges for, false charges. And yeah, he's taking leave of absence from the team. A couple other people, Chris. A couple other people are as well. Not Flyers, I'm just saying a couple other star hockey. I think Bedard's one of them. Or at least he was alleged. Can't say he did. It's alleged that he did X, Y, and Z. No, you'll smoke a tire in hell for that, Chevelle. Yeah, I agree. Freddie Chavez is here. Thank you, Freddie Chavez, being here. We have Kev. We have Kenna. Kenna's in the house. Good to see you. Anna's here. Beer in a shot for me or a lemon drop. A lemon drop, that sounds good. I like sweet stuff. I do. A lemon drop shot? What's in that, Anna? That sounds good. Is it like a lemonade? I like lemonades and sweet tea. So something that tastes like a Arnold Palmer or a lemonade, I'd love to have. Let me know. Kojo over the last 2 hours. My goodness, Jack. Hey, Bill. Good to see you. Bill Wallenzier, my longtime friend from many, many, many moons ago. Bill and Reed. He was mentioned as one Hoskins signed with the Brewers. See, we're talking. We were talking sports, man. It's Thursday. What else you gonna do? We're talking sports. Rhys Hoskins, late of the Phillies, signed with the Brewers. That's a damn good signing for them. And Jack was bringing up Jalen. I heard, I can't remember what show it was. They already brought up Jalen Johnson. Oh, it's good. It's sweet, and you have it either a shot or a martini. I like the martini type of stuff. That would be cool. Remind me if we're out doing anything, because I'll forget. I will. I'm not. I'm not a big drinker. I will forget lemon drop because I like sweet stuff. That's why I like the grandma's not necessarily sweet, but at least it has a decent taste to it. Lemon drop. Open Raiders side, Jalen Johnson, defensive back from the Bears, drafted an offensive tackle in round 1, quarterback in round 2. We'll see. I definitely believe an offensive tackle or a guard at number, 13, should be on the board, or the best defensive tackle. Obviously, BPA, interior line, offense or defense, or a tackle for that matter. But yeah, that's my pick. Build the friggin' team. Round 1, quarterback round 2, and also sign Russell Wilson at the league minimum, $2 million. Let the quarterbacks. I agree. Not necessarily with Wilson, but there will be a vet quarterback signing. Seriously, we know that. Good, sweet. Have a shot. Or my interviews going on? Yeah, interviews for what's going on. Yeah, I know, Kenna. Kenna reminds me that I'm a diabetic. I admit it. Thank you, Jack. But my my sugar levels have never been that high. Seriously, every time I've taken, and I do need to do it more often, but every time I've taken my sugar levels, the most I've ever seen was 135. Seriously, 135. Midori sour. Oh, that sounds good right away. And Matt's already in it. Newton. I think his name is Juwan, right? Juwan Newton at 13. That sounds good. Midori. Yeah, I've heard of Midori. Thank you right away. Remind me, hey, If you see me, okay, I'm putting it out there. If you see me in a crowd or at a place and they sell alcohol, if you see me, buy me one. I want because I'll forget. Seriously, I'll forget otherwise. I drink lemonade, or I drank lemonade, or I drank iced tea, or obviously if I get my Arnold Palmer, at like most Raider events, I'll have a Grand Marnier. I want something good and sweet. I like what is it? Strawberry daiquiris. Yeah, and I like the was it the cherry juice thing, like a Coke with a cherry juice. Can't remember what that's called. Yeah, Shirley Temple probably. But it's I like sweet stuff. I like cherry juice. I like daiquiris. I love pina coladas. I just like sweet shit. It's basically what I drink. It's called a Captain Jack. It's a oh it's like the I can't remember mudslide. So I like that. So yeah, if you if you like them and you think I'd like it, please buy them. And Jack's a diabetic. I got you right away. Yeah, buy me one right away. Thank you, Midori Sour. I've heard it. I heard it. It's good. Oh, what's the green one? Reminds me of a frog. For some reason, there's a frog name to it. A lily pad? I'm not sure. It's green. Oh, Midori Sours. That's what Raj drank in Big Bang Theory, right? Big Bang Theory. Apple teenies. Okay, I'll take one. And I think this is. And by the way, good to see our friend Chronicles, aka OG Jack Daniels. 3 playoff games in 11 years. I'm not buying it. Not buying. You need to sell it. He is discussing, and thank you, sir. I'm talking about drinks and stuff. I should be talking sports. There's not a lot going on. But he is talking the new Raiders general manager, Tom Telesco, had 3 playoff appearances in 11 years. But the talent was there. It was. The talent was there. It was the coaching that sucked. The talent was there, but they underperformed with their coaches. I'm going to say that. A Washington Apple is good too. Okay, Anna, remember if I get out there, and I do have $550 waiting on me in Vegas. You're going to find out how long those slips are good for, right? Right? Please, Anna, because I will send them to you. I will send them to you, and you can Zell me back minus a drink. Mai Tai, Blue Hawaiis are good as the mixologist. Yeah, if the mixologist does it right. Bad coaching and injuries. Yeah, I see. Kenna's with me on that one. You got bad coaching, and your players are injured. No, that's just wrong. Let's see if Telesco can get Mac back with the Raiders. Actually, Chris, we were talking about that on the show earlier, and because Ref Guru brought it up, and he asked Wayne, aka Violator, he says, "Do you think Mac comes back?" Wayne says no. I say because I didn't actually get a chance to talk about this, but I say if he wants to play for the Raiders, if he wants to play for the Raiders at a decent price, not I mean basically like a discount price, if he wants to play for the Raiders, he'll come back. If he wants to play for the Raiders, he'll come back. I admit that. He will. Do the Raiders want him at a discount price? I think they do. I just think that it's something that, because I'll be very honest, very, very honest and selfish. I want to wear my Khalil Mack jersey again. I do. I want to wear my Khalil Mack jersey again. I won't wear it while he's in the league and not a Raider. But if he was to come back a la what Woodson did, that'd be great. And I have really nice Mac jerseys too. But he's going to be cut. Bosa's going to be cut. Chargers are going to be not what they were. And that gave me the title to like what I was trying to get through on the title to the show. You guys and gals, if you're old enough, and there's a few old folks out there, 3 of these things are like the other. 3 of these things are quite the same. But one of these things doesn't belong here. That is time, or now it's time to play our game. And the 3 things that kind of belong is the coaching trifecta in the AFC West of Andy Reid, who's won, 2 Super Bowls and been to another one. So he has 3 Super Bowls, 2 wins. Sean Payton, who has 1 Super Bowl win. I think it's just 1 Super Bowl win. And Jim Harbaugh, who has a NCAA championship and a Super Bowl appearance, not a win. But, that's the 3 things that kind of belong here. See, I can say it. I'm in tune with it, too. If it's in my range, I can sing it. What's the one of these things doesn't belong here? I'm sorry. That is Antonio Pierce. But here's the thing. This is it. Here's the thing. Coaches coach, players play. Coaches coach, players play. Antonio Pierce coached the team this year, and the players played, and he was 5-4 with a suspect offense. Still won 5 games. 2 more than his predecessor, who was 3-5? Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, 3-5. Won 5 games. So it's the players that play for the coaches. Captain sings the classics. I got a lot of them. I'm old, and I like to sing. And if it's in my range, I actually can sing pretty well. Hi, Bob. Mac comes back to the Raiders. Good to see. I'm hoping you're right. I like Mac to be there. Jimmy Farrell, I've spoken about this with a couple of people. Chris Jones would be a hell of a grab. Chris Jones, you're going to pay. If Chris Jones goes to the Raiders and Mac wants to come back, he's going to know that we can't pay him that much if we're paying Chris Jones, and we're already got a contract with Max Crosby. But he would be a great piece to have, right? Be a great piece to have. Imagine it with Chris Jones, Kane with Khalil Mack. I mean, it might be a pipe dream, but yeah, I'd love to have Chris Jones, and yeah, I'd love to have Khalil Mack. I'll call him Mack since he's still on the Chargers, but he's a piece. He's going to be a free agent. They're not going to keep him. They're not going to keep him. And yeah, AP did earn the job. We need an offensive coordinator that will be fantastic. Offense coordinator that be fantastic. And Chris Lentz, I was under the impression until I found out today that Raheem Morris, a.k.a. Coach Ra, was going to coach the Falcons. Because I think that's where Belichick wanted, and Belichick had at least 2 meetings with their owner. But they picked up Raheem Morris, right? But this team could be so good if our offense is halfway decent. That's what Freudian said, a halfway decent. Belichick has no job. Yeah, well, he'll get one. He ain't sitting out there. He might take a year off. He might take a year off, and I think I'm not going to tell who my source is, but I was told today that they heard that if Andy Reid goes to a Super Bowl, God, I hope he does not. But if Andy Reid goes to this Super Bowl and wins, that he's going to retire, and guess where Belichick is going to coach? In Kansas City. It's possible. And, Rick said, yeah, he wants control. He's not going to get control, at least not this year. Because I think he ain't going to wind up in Seattle. The only place he might wind up this year is if Washington is out of the race for all these other coaches. And hear me on this. If Quinn goes to Seattle and he brings Chip Kelly with him, but I heard that they're a package deal, and then he has Vrabel as his defensive coordinator, right? That's one possibility. The other possibility is Belichick goes to Washington where they'll pay him a bunch of money, right? And he might bring Vrabel as his defensive coordinator there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here. We'll see. Hey, Raider Ben's in here. Good to see you, brother. Asylum's in here. Thank you. And I appreciate it. It's Thursday. You can be doing other things. I can be doing other things, but I don't want to. The only thing that will keep me from doing my YouTube, and I say it now, as a foreshadowing of possible activities that I might have upcoming. If I am busy in such a capacity that I can't do a show for reasons that are obviously personal, I will let you know. But otherwise, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call my name and I'll be there. Need more singing. Hey, Ben. Good to see you, brother. Salute to you. Graham's going to be staying if he does. Yeah, if he doesn't get the Seattle job, and it looks like maybe he ain't going to get the Seattle job. And I want Patrick Graham here. I want Patrick Graham for another year, but you better coach up somebody to be the coach in waiting. And yeah, spring training pretty soon. Yeah, Ben. I said we got a bunch of the crew in here tonight. Got the Way, got the Ben, got the Kenna. Chris Lentz has at least popped in. Anna's here. Rick, aloha to you, Wick. That's a Freudian slip. Rick, I want to get out to Hawaii. I want to get out to a bunch of different places. Need to have the fun. Oh, I know Super Freak. Super Freak. The girl's a super freak. Ow. Super Freak. Girl's a super freak. I'm Rick James, damn it. I'm Rick James. I see the Titans got a new head coach. Yeah, and you know who it is? It's Callahan's kid. Good OC. We'll see if he's a good head coach. What's going on with Vrabel? Vrabel is, he's waiting. Vrabel's an option. Maybe Vrabel goes to DC. I don't know. Yeah, I know, Chris. No, Phillies aren't coming to the Rays this year. I think it's like every other year or every third year. Every third year for real games. Maybe they go up to Philly, but hey, let me find a job first, and I'll go to these things that I can. There you go. Asylum News while saying, I'm Rick James, bitch. Right there. What does everyone think about bringing Butler back as a defensive tackle coach? Well, that's up to Graham. That's up to Patrick Graham. Because Patrick Graham is going to build his defense the way he wants to. Right? He's going to build his defense the way he wants to with Antonio Pierce's blessing. And whoever comes in as offensive coordinator is going to be blessed by somebody. And I'm hoping we get a decent offensive coordinator. Kingsbury wouldn't mind. The enemy I wouldn't mind. Shaw. Wouldn't mind Shaw. Get somebody decent. Was it the OC for the Bears? Fuck no. The interim OC for the Steelers, who was the OC in Tampa Bay a couple years ago, he's not bad. He's got experience. The Kingsbury's not bad. The enemy's not bad. There's good OCs out there to be had. Hugh Jackson. Somebody was telling me that somebody did an interview. What was it? I think the Protect the Shield podcast. I think it was PTS. Somebody lost it. Protect the Shield podcast, I think, had Hugh Jackson on. I'm not sure if they asked Hugh the question. I was told that they would ask Hugh the question if he wanted to come back to do something with the Raiders. Maybe not be the OC, but maybe be the quarterback's coach, or maybe be in the passing game coordinator, something like that. As long as Hugh Jackson stays away from total control operations, yeah, I have no problem with Hugh Jackson. And in fact, I need Manny's and Petty's myself. My feet look like crap. Oh, they're horrible. They're terrible. Come on, Cat. What was Rick James' first guitarist in his first band? I don't know. Jimmy Farrell knows. That's why he asked it. I don't know, Jimmy. Prince was the first guitarist. Wow. Did not know that. Makes sense. Prince. Wow. Anna said that. Hey, Anthony, thank you for that. The true captain. I appreciate that. Tom McDermott. Maybe hire Vrabel as a coach? Yeah, maybe. Oh, Anna said, Neil Young? Neil Young was Prince's first guitarist? Really? Didn't know. Anna said Prince. I thought that was a good answer. And again, everybody in here, thanks for being here. Oh, I'm going to put up, Hey, Ben, if Ben can come in, Estrada can come in. Jimmy Farrell, I haven't heard from Jimmy in a while. Jimmy, if you come in, got to bring your better half with you. At least come in for a cameo. Anna will probably be in here. Asylum, we can't get enough of Asylum. Kenna, get your ass in here. Rick will come in. Dude, and ladies and gentlemen, come on in tonight. I'm already 37 minutes in. I want some guests. Neil Young was Rick James's first guitarist. There you go. Heard it from the rock and roll aficionado that Jimmy Farrell is. I know music. I didn't know that. I don't profess to know everything. But if you want to come into the show, and I'd love to have you into the show, somebody who has what is it? Jared's number. Tell him to fix his fucking phone. Oh, Jimmy Farrell's watching hockey. I said I wasn't watching hockey after I saw the score. By the way, it is hot in here. I'm gonna take my hat off. I got my hair in a what do you call it? Like a samurai knot. Hot. I need to. This is bad. I need to pull my my air conditioning, my little air conditioner that's over here. I need to make it colder. Okay, well, Asylum, maybe plenty of people. Oh, here's the thing. If you want to come into the show, please do. And like I said, and tell Jared, like I said, text him. Fix your fucking phone. Because Jared was trying to call the other night, and I had my phone all the way over there. My phone's here tonight. It's close. But fix your fucking phone. Because I'm charging it over here. It's a slower charger, but it is working. Let's see what the charge is. See if I have a Kenneth charge. Oh, okay. I'm at 77%. Not bad. Got some sexy snaps coming my way. Let me check these out real quick. Why? Because I can. Cool. One of my gals is not having a good day. No, that's that. Ooh, somebody made cookies too. Those look good. Anyway, if you want to come into the show, please do. I heard somebody there. I will be right with you. All right. I heard that. Boop. Somebody's here. Who's here? Ah, Doc is here. Jack, you know how to completely charge your phone? Oh, Ken is at 34. The Minor Birds band was when Young played with Rick James. I didn't know that. Doc, are you there? I see a picture. I want to get Doc on if he's not there, but Doc is in the background. Maybe Doc. Oh, okay. Doc. I see a hand. Doc, put on some fucking light, man. Jesus Christ. What was it? Are you going through a? What do you call it when there's a power outage? Is there a power outage? It's dark. It's kind of like when Cool Kev came on for the first or second time, and it was like dark. And yeah, I'm not doing the joke. He said, you knew Cool Kev was in there when he smiled. It was true because Cool Kev, and I say this because this is a compliment. Cool Kev's got some white fucking teeth. He's got some white fucking teeth. The rest of the picture was dark, but he smiled and we saw him. And then he turned the light on. And Cool Kev's still here. And he knows it too, man. I'm not bitching at it. Just put some fucking light on. B. Al, thank you for being here. Got Van City in here. Do it until it reaches. Ed, I do that. I keep, but see, I don't turn it off either. I should, but I got it on. So yeah, ahoy to you. I'm gonna bring Andrew, aka Doc, in here. Hopefully he's here. See what I was talking? See how dark it is? See how dark? Oh, it's because he's in his car.
Yes, okay. I'm driving.
Okay, then you got an excuse. You got an excuse. Okay, so yeah, well, that's fine. So, Doc, what do you got going on? What is it that is so into? And by the way, thank you for coming in. What is it that is so intensive that you wanted to come in while you were driving and just be a part of the show? I applaud you for it. Thank you, sir.
Let me tell you something, Jay. I love you. Number one.
Thank you.
Number two. The Patriots are pissing me off.
Well,
number three.
That goes without saying. Go ahead. Number three.
I'm trying to figure out Antonio and AP and the new guy that's taking over. What's his name? Conlon, the new GM.
No, his name's Tom Telesco.
Telesco. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tom Telesco. Coughlin is the old coach of the Giants that beat the Patriots twice. Okay,
and he was also he started out, and he also started up the Jaguars franchise.
Yeah, but he shit on the Jaguars franchise. He really did them. He shit on them first, and then Urban Meyer came in and shit on him again. And it wasn't until the coach that used to be in Philly came in, the current coach, to bring them back to somewhat respectability. So
actually, what happened was when Tom Coughlin started the franchise back in the 90s, he brought in Tony Baselli, I can't remember the other Tom's name. He number 55. He has a radio show that I met him with one time in Jacksonville. He did some great stuff over there. But what I'm trying to figure out right now is what is going to be. I know they all talk the pretty stuff in front of a microphone about, the Raider way, this, that, and the other thing. But what is going to be the true grit that comes out of this group that's going to be put together now? I know with the Patriots, when Belichick took over, it was a goat fuck. But Pete Carroll did a pretty good job, and Petula did a pretty good job, but it was a goat fuck for a while there.
Right.
But the good news was we went to 9 Super Bowls and won 6, and then everything went to hell after Tom left. But now what I'm trying to figure out is I'm not a Raiders fan. I respect the Raiders, but I'm not a Raiders fan. But what I'm trying to figure out is where are the Raiders going from here now with Davis? Because I know Al was pretty much blood and blood. This guy doesn't appear to be blood and blood. I don't know where he's coming from or what he wants or how we expect to do it. But I'm just trying to figure out from you guys and ladies, and yes, I know there are ladies here. What?
Yeah. Let me see. Anna's in here, and Miss Tanner's in here. So that's Holly and Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah, Holly and Anna are in here. So you do got 2 ladies in here. If I'm missing somebody, I forget. I apologize. But yeah.
My thing is, where are they going here, Jay? And I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Well, I appreciate you coming in while you're driving, Doc. I just want to make sure that you are safe, sir.
Oh, I am. I am safe.
Okay,
I'm
that
almost home.
almost give a kiss to the Raider fan in your life, who's your wife,
I will. My much better
and
half, yes.
yeah, your better half, the one that actually knows football.
Yes, she knows a lot more than I do, believe it or not.
Hey, I said it. It wasn't a joke. You're one that actually knows. But no,
Yeah.
Doc, thanks for coming in. And you know what? I'm going to take that question. What are the Raiders doing? And I'm going to bounce it off my next person that comes in here because you know Jack Kenna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's up, Jack?
yeah. I'm gonna bring Jack in here. I'm gonna bring you on a three screen. Okay, real quick.
Uh-oh. Well, three-way, huh?
Yeah, three-way. Yeah, not a not a Philippine three-way, Doc. Don't get your hopes
Hey,
up.
Jay, be nice.
Just saying.
Look, we got
Okay,
we gotta be nice, Jay. We gotta be nice.
I am very nice. I'm very nice. But yeah,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Mr. Kenna.
While you're asleep.
Yeah, when I'm asleep, I'm very nice. Mr. Kenna, Doc wants to know what the Raiders are doing now. What is the new path? What is the quote unquote Raider way, or is it as of right now? Doc, you want me to take this? I'll get you out of the picture, and then Jack can give his response. Is that what you wanted, sir?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
listen, Jay. Thanks.
Okay, hey, drive
But
safe, Doc,
but say
and
hi.
yeah, no, everybody says that you said hi. We got it.
All right, salute, brother. Hey guys, what's going on, Raider Nation? What's going on, Cap?
Not much. I have on my bearded veteran shirt and my I was a here and I'm a veteran sticker that you get when you get to the career job folks down here. So you know, I appreciate the fact that they make sure that anybody that's identified as a veteran gets to be identified as a veteran. So that's why I have it.
Nice.
And I just happily wore the bearded veteran shirt. I like it because it's got the skull on it, you know, and it says on the back, I'm a bearded veteran. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got myself for Christmas this Charles Woodson Salute the Vets, sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now.
It looks nice. It looks
It
nice.
it it was great price too, so I was happy to get it. So what was the question? What are the Raiders doing right now?
Basically, what is the Raiders' way ahead?
Well, the
What
Raiders way is like the Antonio Pierce way, which is something that we've known for a long time as guys that have known the Raiders for a long time. It's just trying to go back to the way it was and, run that type of football, pride and poise and discipline. Well, there really wasn't much discipline back then, but
Well, but it was no,
it was
it wasn't.
it
It
was a
was
different type of discipline. We're going to tear your head off
exactly
and we're still going to kick your butt. But then it
right, and
went
that
to
was
like, we've
but
got too many
yeah.
penalties and we're not kicking anyone's butt. So
But here's the thing though. What was Madden's three rules? Madden's three rules: be
I
on
thought it was two
time.
rules.
No, it was three. It was be on time, pay attention, and play like hell during the game.
Okay, I was thinking more of Matt Millen's rules. Number one, cheat as much
Number
as you can get away with, and number two, see rule number one.
yeah, but that wasn't Millen's rule. That was Al Davis's rule, and he recited it for the show. That was Al Davis's rule: cheat like hell. And rule number two is see rule number one.
See rule number one.
Yeah. If there's any doubt, see rule number one. That's the way it is.
It's really kind of funny, with Tom getting signed as GM, which I don't agree with, but a lot of people were just so angry, and him signing over here as the GM. I like it. I think he's done pretty darn well over the years, getting the Chargers, the players, what we kind of said in the chat earlier. I think it's bad coaching and injuries is kind of what held them back. I mean, really bad coaching. I would rather have Mick fired over Staley any day of the week. And, nobody wants either one of them.
Exactly.
And, even look at our GM and Ziegler last year. Well, how many opportunities he been given to get an opportunity to interview? None. So, Yeah, I like it. And you know what? If Champ Kelly got signed by another team to actually become, because he's under contract. If people don't know that, he's under contract, so he's not going anywhere. So if he did get signed by another team, then we get 2 third-round draft picks. So I did not know that, during the process. So I like the move. I really do. I like what he's done over the years. And I like that Champ Kelly's here. And Champ Kelly did great with the scouting department and so forth. And so we're basically replacing, Tom with Ziegler. And I think that's an upgrade.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Now, I was talking with the gentleman that is the quote unquote the new face for the Chargers on the Wild Wild West show. The young kid, I think his name is Robert Garcia. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it is. It's like I was shocked. I went on to the night before. I went over to Coach's channel, and I was like really shocked when he said he stepped down to focus more on his channel.
Yeah,
I was really kind of bummed about that, but it was good to see Robert do his thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not like I don't hate Coach. The only thing I don't like about Coach is that the motherfucker never came down to meet me in Florida. Like I said, Alex did, and Richie did, and I'm playing here.
I know you're being,
I'm playing here, but I would have loved to meet Coach, and hopefully one of these days I will. And like I said, I met Mundungus out in Denver, so I met the people that are on the show and part of the network. So, and if I get to LA, because that's where Robert is, I'll hopefully see Robert and we'll take a picture together, and this way we'll do it. So
I hope it happens. Yeah, I've actually talked about going on Coach's show, and when he does his basketball, because I'm a basketball fan, but my knowledge in basketball is not like the way it is with football. So,
right.
But I'd just be on there if we're going to talk about the Sacramento Kings, versus the other teams in the division. Then I'm good with it. Kind of like the Sharks. I know my Sharks team, but I don't know the rest in the NHL. So,
yeah, I mean, I say on this show that I have my knowledge is miles wide and at least a couple inches thick. Okay, so I can talk about different things miles wide, and I know at least that much about everything that I can hold an intelligent conversation. Now, once you get past this, then I'm nodding up or down, or I'm learning more, so that my couple inches now becomes a couple inches more. Because
sure.
that's what knowledge is. It's talking, and you express ideas, you express knowledge, and if you're smart, you take stuff in and you learn. So,
well, absolutely. It's like, looking at it like our offensive coordinator, there's 2 guys I like. One is been, getting an interview in Kingsbury, but I just wonder about him because he's more of a pass happy guy. And, Antonio Pierce says, our heart and soul is JJ. We're going to go run first. We're going back to old school. And then I also like, a candidate that nobody talks about. I kind of like Frank Wright. I think he's a good quarterback coach. I think he's good offensive coordinator as well. And he's kind of more of a traditional guy. So it'll be interesting. But right now I kind of feel like, my gut's telling me from what just from what I hear from other content creators and, guys who cover the Raiders, that, the guy from the Rams, which I can't remember his name, but that guy.
I saw that. Yeah, that they asked for permission for him to interview.
Yeah. So, yeah. But the thing I'm happiest most about is that, what you brought up earlier. So this team would be totally different is in the way of Patrick Graham. I don't, Raiders, give him a big pay raise, make him assistant head coach, do whatever you need to do to make this guy stick around for a couple more years. I want to see what he can do. I mean, we saw 2 years and it impressed me. I mean, because if guys and gals, if you guys have been watching the Raiders for a long time, that was the best defense we've had since like the early 2000s.
Since Willie Shaw.
Yeah.
And Yeah, that was the best. Now, granted, I can't remember who was it. Was it Bresnahan that took over that defense? I think it was Bresnahan. But Willie Shaw was the creator of the defense that kept us in games and I think Willie Shaw's last game might have also been Gruden's last game. Gruden 1.0 was the Tuck Rule game. I think it was.
I think it was too.
And then they had Chuck Bresnahan come in after that.
And I didn't like Chuck. And actually, I talked to Chuck once. You know, like you, he's a client of mine in the business I work in. So I did get the opportunity to talk to him, but I didn't, like, hey, hi. I didn't want to say, yeah, I don't think you're good as defensive coordinator, but I did get a chance to talk to him. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah. But you did you at least get a chance to tell him that you were a Raider fan?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. Yeah,
and I thanked him for his time.
Yeah.
But, I really hope, this offseason, I've heard the salary cap in so many different ways, in the way of like from 43 million to about 52 million. Our draft class is going to cost us about 3.8 million. And I said in the chat earlier, I'm like, I would really like that Jalen Johnson from the Bears, which is kind of funny. He's like, he gave AP his props. So we know he likes AP. And he tried to, say, oh, Max, come on over to the Bears. Well, it's kind of funny because he said mid-season he wanted to be traded. So I think it's kind of like, undertone saying, hey, Raiders, look at me this year. I'm a free agent. He's first all-team pro defensive back. You get him and Jack Jones and Hobbs and then our safeties. We're looking good there. So we can eliminate that as a first-round pick. If we can't get a quarterback that we want, then we have two things to go with. We can go offensive tackle. We can go D tackle, because we know the top three quarterbacks are not going to be there. So we can look in hopefully round 2 for a Penix Jr. or like a Bo Nix. And then even on top of that, we can sign a Russell Wilson at the league minimum of 1.8 million and just say, hey guys, you guys all battle it out. Best man wins. And if Russell Wilson starts doing the Russell Wilson stuff, being a prima donna, well, it's not going to hurt us to cut that 1.8 million. But the upside's there.
Would Russell Williams agree? Will Russell Wilson agree to a vet minimum contract?
Well, as you guys even talked about on the Wild Wild West show, Denver's on the hook for that $80-some-odd million.
Oh, I got it, and they're going to pay most of it.
Yeah, so it's like he's getting paid no matter what, and if it's more than that, then just kick cans and go somewhere else.
Yeah. I agree with Ed, kinda. I still say, and I'm on record, because I think I was talking to people about this. I'm on record. The first couple rounds, unless you acquire picks where you can take an extra pick that you acquire, but the first couple rounds, 1, 2, and 3, and if you get an extra 2 or if you get an extra 3 by moving around, your first couple picks should be interior, defensive lineman, DT, or interior offensive line or an offensive tackle. Well, offensive tackle is an interior, but basically offensive lineman. And if the best center is there, then you got a dilemma. If the best center is there, what are you going to do with names?
James.
No, James is gone.
Are you talking about Parham?
Parham, yeah. What are you going to do with Parham?
So
if you acquire the best center, Parham is undersized unless he bulks up. But he's still not very big. He's like,
he's just super strong.
Right. I say this, and I used to be 6 foot, now I'm 5'11". So I'm not one to talk. But when you're talking about the gargantuans along the offensive line, most of them are 6'4" to 6'6".
But center, you don't need to be that tall.
I get it, which is why Parham will slide over to center. But if you get the best center in the draft, do you play him at guard?
Well, let's talk about this for half a second. So in reality, one of the best centers is the kid from Michigan who got hurt and had, he's injured. And they were talking about him being out all next season. So his draft stock was dropping like the 4th or 5th round because he's going to be out all year. Now I read something today where he might be in training camp this year. So the mock drafts that I've done, the mock drafts that I've seen, 4th or 5th round, he's only going to improve, but he's definitely not going to be a 1st round pick and not going to be a 2nd round pick. So he might be a 3rd round pick, this year, but it really depends on that kid's health because he's really, really good, but his injury is what's dropping his stock. Mm-hmm. And if that case, 4th or 5th round, I'd go for a kid like that. Even if he had to sit for a year, I'd let him go there and let him, get healthy, but his talent is there. Because if I'm going in the 3rd, 4th round, again, right now, the one free agent I want is Jalen Johnson. Fills that role. Number one.
I'm gonna hold you there because I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
There's only so much cap that you have.
Correct. And
okay.
Hopefully we're talking about Khalil Mack.
You didn't hear my question yet.
Okay.
You didn't hear my question yet. You can have one or the other if they agree to a contract. Chris Jones or Jalen Johnson, who are you going to take?
Okay. Well, it also depends on the contract because, Chris Jones is going to want anywhere between 25 to 30 million, which is going to eat up really much the whole cap. I don't think.
No, we're not going to eat up the whole cap. It'll take half of it away. It'll take half of it away.
Well, I said we're between 40 and $50 million somewhere in there. He's asking for half of that. So Jalen Johnson, if we're getting him at like 18, 19 million, then I'd rather have saved that 7 or 8 million for something else. But yes, after seeing Chris Jones tear up our offensive line over the years, he's my number one free agent. But honestly, for a guy who's 31 going next year, to spend $25 million a year, and he's going to want 3 or 4 years. And then he's almost past his prime, and we're going to see the regression like Kelsey this year. Do you guys really want to spend that type of money, over the long haul? I'd rather have a guy who's 25 years old, and you can sign him to a longer term contract, and he's going to cost less. And then use that money elsewhere. So if we can save that money, we get an all pro number one, defensive back, pair him up with Jack Jones and Hobbs and our safeties, and then use our 1st round draft pick on a left or a right tackle, re-sign a Luminor, which isn't going to cost you much, slide him over to the right guard. Again, you can put Parham at center.
Yeah, that's where Parham's going to play in this line. I know Mike Sarah says that they're going to keep James at center. I don't think so, Mike. I think that because he becomes a cap casualty for what they want. And I think that they're going to let James go because honestly, the performance that Andre James had this past year and actually this year and last year wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the greatest. So I think that they let him go based upon his performance and his cap number. They moved Parham over to center, where the Raiders, when they had Parham at center this year, they played rather well. And they saved money there. And oh, by the way, and I was just looking up, you said Chris Jones is 30 already?
No, Chris Jones is 30.
Right. What about Wilkins, Christian Wilkins, who's 2 years younger and is one of the stalwart defensive tackles on the Dolphins and is available as well?
It's not going to cost as much as, Jones. I mean,
right.
But then again, there's only 2 guys in the league, that are like, Jones and what's his name from the Rams. There's only 2 guys like these guys.
Right. Yeah.
And if I had to pick, I would take Jalen Johnson over Wilkins from Miami, because then again, if you take that at that secondary spot, okay, let's say we don't go offensive right tackle.
We don't need an offensive right, to be honest, because we haven't seen what Dalton was it Dalton? What's his name? I can't remember. The kid's name is.
You talking about our 7th round draft pick?
Yeah. Dalton, whatever. He's a friggin' house. He's a mountain. Okay, you can't teach size, and he's aggressive. So Dalton, I can't remember what his name is. It's Dalton. But yeah, why not? And the kid's big. Mike Sarah, I know that. We could have had Jalen Carter. Mike, look at what the regime was. They weren't going to take a chance on a kid with questionable ethics. They weren't going to do it, Mike. They weren't going to. And I agree with them. Tyree Wilson is only going to get better. And by the way, look at the stats of Tyree Wilson and look at the stats on Jalen Carter. They're not that far off. And I didn't know this until somebody brought it to my attention. I'm just saying. And thank you. Asylum said that at the end of the season, Wilson was outplaying Carter. Case closed. So yeah, we could have had Carter, but you know what? His thing was when he wasn't. He was like not as motivated as well, and he had ethics issues, and they weren't going to be on the wrong side of a bad draft choice if the stuff came out about him. That's just the way it was. Carter's a find, but you know what? Wilson played both outside and inside. Carter don't play outside. I don't know. I think Wilson's going to slide over to the inside. So, but 6 of the one, half of the other. I think that they made a decent choice with Wilson. Okay.
Well, we all knew, in the beginning of the season with Tyree. Oh, and by the way, before I go back to Tyree, you were thinking of Thayer Mumford is who we were thinking about.
No.
That's all right.
The kid is on IR. His name is Dalton.
Oh,
he has been on the IR.
Oh, we're talking about that 6'9". No. Was it IR? But the undrafted rookie UDFA, which they gave the biggest amount of money to, versus any other team.
The kid is
6'9".
He's 6'9" and aggressive.
Okay.
He's
so the practice squad guy. Okay.
Right. No, not even practice squad. He was on IR. So it's like, and you slide him over at right tackle, you already got a tackle.
Okay, I can see that. I can understand what your thought process.
Yeah.
So then I would go DT. And there's 4 DTs that are out there. You can look at round 1. You got the DT from Illinois, who's the best of all. Illinois. I'm California, so Illinois.
I'm sorry. I was born there. It actually is Illinois. You don't pronounce the S.
Well, that's Nevada. It's like people don't like, way you say Nevada.
Yeah.
So, okay, then that's number 1. There's the number 2. There's the kid from Michigan at defense tackle. And there's 2 guys from the Longhorns.
Yeah. I think, when is it Jalen
Sweat and the other kid.
Demetrius Sweat or Darius Sweat.
And there's one, the other DTs rated 1 slot ahead of them, so it's close battle.
Or Keith Sweat, I'm gonna make you sweat. Wait, there's a sweat in there somewhere.
There's a sweat in there.
Yeah, but no, I got it. We got a lot to choose from, as long as they don't blow the pick, and I don't think they're gonna blow the pick with Telesco, because what they said about Telesco, and these are the Charger people that they were talking about Telesco, saying that his drafts weren't all that in a biscuit. I'm like, well, I over the 11 years, he drafted rather well. And they said, yeah, but his rounds 4 through 7 weren't that good. I said, okay, well, that's what Champ Kelly's for. Champ Kelly is good for getting those kids that are in the later rounds that are friggin' songs. And Telesco won't screw up the 1, 2, and the 3. He won't screw up the Lawrence Welk rounds. You get that, right, Jack? The Lawrence Welk round?
Yeah,
One,
I'm so old. My grandparents used to watch that in black and white.
yeah, yeah. It's a Lawrence Welk trade, a 1 and a 2 and a 3. There you go.
Well, what I find is interesting, though. Okay, let's look at last year's draft. So Young from Alabama, defensive tackle. How much run did he get as a third round pick? Like 11 plays. And then I liked him. And then when we got Trucker, and when we first drafted Trucker,
Trucker,
Trucker, Trucker.
Played
Not
what
Tucker,
position?
not Tucker, Trucker. So when we drafted him, I totally forgot that when we played against
Trucker. I don't know a Trucker. No, Jack, I'm being serious. Who's Trucker? I know Tucker.
Okay, Tucker is the way you want to say it. I thought it was Trucker.
No, the kid at wide receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tucker.
From Cincinnati. So when I totally forgot, watching him play against Notre Dame with the Atlanta Falcons quarterback, Ritter, he was the number one guy. I totally spaced on that game, and he did pretty good. At first I didn't like the pick. Now I think it's a great pick. And then we go to our fourth round. Let's go Bennett, starter in the beginning of the season, then getting benched. And then we look at number 6, your linebacker out of Florida. Never saw the field, got off the practice squad.
Oh, no, he did see the field, Jack. You better go back. Yes, you better go back and look at it.
Was it like a hot minute?
No. He played a couple games at the end of the year. His name is Amari Burney.
Yeah, Bernie.
Yeah.
Well, if he played, he was a ghost. I didn't,
He played in the last couple games.
And then
he needed linebacker help because Masterson was hurt and the other kid was hurt. Diablo was hurt, and they had Bernie play. So he saw the field. It wasn't
okay. Same thing as Young, not memorable. So then let's go.
He played.
Oh, that's good. We got some PT.
Yeah.
And then let's go to our safety from Georgia.
Chris Smith.
A lot of the picks that Ziegler did didn't really play. So I'm excited, for Tom to come in here and hopefully some of the players, and which gives even more credit to Patrick Graham and the job that he's done to take the Raiders defense, which has been horrible over decades, and improved in all these draft picks that have come in, all the youth movement to hopefully to improve the defense. They didn't do anything really to do anything for the defense, but Graham got the guys that were there to really step up. So Patrick Graham, I salute you. And I'm glad that you're going to be a Raider next year, because if you weren't going to be a Raider, then it's going to be a tear down and rebuild at the defense, whoever our DC would have been then at that point.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they did do what they did do. Okay, and they gave, like I said, Smith got some playing time. Bernie got some playing time. The kid that was on, I said that the big Dalton kid, he was on IR. He didn't get any playing time. So they're young and they got good players to move up. I think that like I said, the defense will be fine. They were fine last year. They were a top 10 defense last year. You get some more people along those lines. Like I said, Young didn't really play. Farrell played quite well. And was it the big?
Well, he got traded.
No, not that Farrell. The other Farrell.
Well, there's Cleve Farrell.
Yeah, I ain't talking about him. He got.
And then there's the other Farrell that we drafted in the 4th round that got traded.
Yeah, Neil. I think it was Neil Farrell.
Neil Farrell. He's gone. He's not a Raider.
Right, but there's a third Farrell that actually played. Seriously, look it up.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, look it up. But yeah, there was Cleve Farrell, Neil Farrell got traded, and then there was the third Farrell or Farrell, whichever one, and he was playing it. I think he was the one that got like the Scoops fumble. Maybe but yeah, he played well. And then the big
Oh,
bass.
was that Jake or no? Blad Nichols got a scoop fumble, and I think also, I don't know if it was a score, but Jenkins, the oldest guy on our defensive front.
Yeah, Jenkins got, but the other Farrell had like a sack or something. But yeah, Jenkins had the rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, fumble recovery where he was out of breath and needed an oxygen tank at the end because he weighs like maybe a couple ounces short of oh my fucking god. So yeah, he's and yes, I know I'm big. I get it. I'm not saying it for bad, but I was gonna say, Brendo Ball Bomber, who, like I said, I like him because he has the picture of, and he said it's his picture, but it still looks like Epstein from, Welcome Back, Cotter. Jane Daniels, May Penix. Well, May's not going to be there. Okay. Williams is not going to be there. Okay. McCarthy might, but you know what? Now that frickin' Harbaugh is coaching the Chargers, I bet you any money he's going to say, I want McCarthy in the second round. And
really?
They're high enough in the second round to actually gamble like that. He's going to say, I want my boy. I want my boy. And I think he'll get him. Hey, Twan, how you doing?
I saw someone put out, today from ESPN. Oh, no, CBS Sports. They said that we're going after J.J. McCarthy at pick number 13. I'm like, dude,
why?
You're getting paid for this? I mean, you're getting paid money to write for CBS. And you're going to say J.J. McCarthy at number 13?
No.
I mean, he's not, in my opinion, okay, it's just my opinion, guys. I'm a Raider fan.
I agree with you. He's definitely not a first-round talent. He's not.
He's not as good as AOC 4, in my opinion. So I didn't even want the guy. The guy can't, man.
Yeah. The only person that's high on McCarthy other than Harbaugh is our boy Stu. Stu says McCarthy is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm like,
I'd rather have Penix and I'd rather have Bo Nix.
I agree with you on both of them, and I'd rather have Bo Nix, Penix in the second round if he falls. But like you said, then you're gambling a pick on a guy who has tore up both his knees. But
isn't Jaden Daniels kind of the same way? And I would love to have him. I think he would be a perfect fit for this team. And let me throw this out at you. 2.5 years ago, who was I hyping up 2.5 years ago just from watching a couple games and watching USC play against Notre Dame?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Dalen Wilson, right? That's his name.
That guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, but like I said, you can see
the talent.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, exactly, Jimmy Farrell. Kenna, are you still on? First off, that your phone is charged that enough. If you want to knock Kenna off, come on the fucking show. I posted the link. Just because somebody's on doesn't mean that you have to listen to his shit for the entire show.
Hey, Farrell, come on with us, brother.
Oh, no. He was watching hockey. I'm watching hockey, Captain. I'm not going to be on your show because I'm watching hockey. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, Farrell's one of my brothers. I see him on a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
Yeah. Oh, now he's master of the universe. Okay, Farrell. Hockey, yes. Master of the universe, shut up. Get your ass on the show. In fact, we're gonna be joined by Black Thanos in a hot second. Jack, thanks for coming on, sir.
Hey, salute, Cap. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
And Nation, salute. And I'll be checking you guys out in the chat, and have a great night.
Hey, thanks again, Jack. Appreciate it, brother.
All right. Good night, brother.
Good night. That's Jack Kenna. Good to see him as well. We're gonna We're gonna the first thing. Yeah, he called you a kid, Jimmy Farrell. He called you a kid. He did. Now we're gonna go to. Oh, I'm watching American Sniper. That's not that. The guy just got schwacked. An American guy got schwacked. He was a SEAL. Got hit right in the face. There's nothing else on TV. The Flyers, I'm sure, lost. They were down 3-0. So we got. Hey, but not before I get to black down. As like I said, the Flyers were down 3-0. I'm sure Jimmy Farrell's going to tell me that they lost. I don't know. Yeah, you're younger than me. Of course, Jimmy Farrell, you're younger than me. That's why we can both call you kid. Anyway, Sharif, aka Black Dennis, give me a mic check, sir.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
There you go. Good to see you, brother. What's on your mind tonight, shipmate?
Okay, hope the sound is okay. If not, I can take the earbuds out. I think that's sometimes effective.
So far, it's okay. If we can't hear you, I'll let you know, brother.
Okay. Well, good to see you, Cap, and caught you on the.
Uh-oh. Sharif, don't hear anything.
Ooh. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, we you dropped.
Sorry. Sorry about that, Cap.
Yeah, no worries. You said it was good to see you on, and then it was like dead silence.
Yeah, you and Violator on the Nation show. And the big news, obviously, for us Raider fans is the acquisition of whom I have christened Tommy Fiasco. I hate to be the annual deliverer of ill tidings or the administrator of the reality slack, but we've been here before, Cat. So I ask. So before anyone think I'm just being pessimistic or negative, just check my record.
Your record's pretty good for calling shit. I'll say that. I'll be there. Yeah. Go ahead.
For me, this is very underwhelming. And I can see a potential conflict for many reasons when you're talking about a guy who has close to 30 years experience, who basically was hired after the head coach, which is unconventional in itself, who is still somewhat of a novice, AP having maybe 10 games to his credit.
Uh-huh.
Trust me, there's going to be clashes, whether we hear about it or not, and it's going to reflect and spill over into the on-field product and the temperament of the room. For me, the most natural thing would have been to build something organically, not saying that Champ Kelly was necessarily the most deserving, but everybody is brand new at some point in time. Mm-hmm. And if you really believe in your vision, don't bring a retread who we sent on the unemployment line just Halloween and rescue him. You're talking about a guy who's been in place for 11 years, won nothing over there. Okay, so he drafted Herbert. Who wasn't going to draft Herbert in that spot? He basically dropped to them. He has yet to build a O-line to protect Herbert. Herbert has been sacked 130 times in 4 years, and he couldn't finish this year. And we knew, what was it, the year before last where he got the fractured ribs? So
yeah, it was a year, not this past year, 23, but in 22. Yeah.
Right. So as good as that kid is, he's been taking a ton of punishment. And this particular GM, which I'm going to say for us going to mean goodbye momentum, is not the way to go. I did not want some damn proven loser before people say, well, he's experienced. Failing is experience also. And you can say, well, he wasn't responsible for those bloated contracts and et cetera, et cetera. He still is complicit in the creation of the disaster that they have over there with a bunch of big names. We could have kept Ziegler if we want a talented roster on paper. That's all he achieved with the Chargers. He gave you some sexy names on paper. Ziegler, to his credit, he did everything he could to give the former quarterback a opportunity to win because he was inheriting the incumbent. He brought Chandler Jones over here, and nobody knew that Chandler was going to go 51-50. So he didn't give out irresponsible contracts. He didn't prematurely commit to Derek Carr at an outrageous amount, and that's why he's no longer here. So just to play devil's advocate, this guy is really not no leaps and bounds ahead of Ziegler, except he has a longer record of failure, whereas Ziegler has been around nothing but success. And he has picked up, or at least I believe is familiar with some of those winning habits and practices in the front office that create success. It's not Ziegler's fault that McDaniels is a fucking idiot and a megalomaniac who just isn't built out for head coaching. So I'm going to warn everybody now, this is going to create a lot of schism for this team. I'm very underwhelmed, and I am pessimistically guarded about the season coming. Not that we won't win some games, but there's definitely going to be a clash between the guy used to control and here's another thing, Kat. I believe the reason why Max Crosby and other star players had to be so vocal that they knew Mark Davis was liable to, can I curse here tonight?
Yes.
They knew Mark Davis was liable to fuck this up if they didn't. I mean, when is the last time you seen star athletes damn near threaten the owner with a trade demand if he don't hire an interim coach? They knew it. They could feel that he was about to do something stupid, and he couldn't resist himself by digging through the Charger dumpster and bringing this bloated fucking failure over here. And if not for Crosby and Devontae and Josh and a few other players, Jack Jones, I think he would have brought in Telesco, and Telesco first order of business would have been firing AP like he did Anthony Lynn, who was above 500, to bring in Staley, who was below 500. But because Mark Davis gave AP the security by hiring him first, Telesco basically had to come in humble because we sent them to the unemployment line with the worst loss against us in their history. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a clash. If you think Hugh Jackson and Reggie McKenzie couldn't work out, they're gonna learn. They're probably gonna learn in the first few months. If we win, it's going to be in spite of the presence of Tommy Fiasco, as I call him.
Yeah, actually, that's a good name. I was going to say, if anybody else uses that, if it's rightly yours, make sure everybody knows that Tommy Fiasco is yours, unless you've heard it and you're at least smart enough.
Oh no, that's all yours truly. You know, I'm pretty clever with the colloquialisms and nicknames.
Yeah,
you know.
That's it. Okay.
So Cap, I just had to inject some rational and objective points.
No, great.
And if he can prove me wrong, then fantastic. But there's nothing in his background that wows me, other than he just basically hung around for a long time, and that don't impress me. Whereas you've just got a pink slip, 2 months ago, because this roster that everyone keeps bragging about couldn't beat us or get the better of us with a 4th round quarterback. The same roster that we beat to get into the playoffs in 2021. Fiasco was over that team. So again, I'm not impressed by pretty names on paper. Uh-huh. You know, it's more than that. And AP, with limited talent, was able to maximize and tap into the Raider tradition of us against the world and making those men push themselves to the limit and give us something to believe in again. And we could have continued that maybe with Dobbs working in tandem with Kelly. Some say Dobbs was against that, but nonetheless, this shows it's unconventional, and just the sequence of it feels forced. It feels too forced. Well, I'm going to put AP first because more than likely this 30-year experienced guy is going to want his own guy. But the fans and my best player is demanding a trade if I don't hire him. So it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, Cat. I can foresee a lot of bumps and bruises coming ahead.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents on it. So
No,
I'm not sold on Tommy Fiasco.
That's actually a good nickel's worth, and it's good because again, you have a good track record of saying that McDaniels was ass, and you called it a long time before anybody else did. But you notice that I came around when I said I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I did. I was just saying give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to say the same thing about Tommy Fiasco.
Right.
Let's at least see what he does in this uniform, or and granted it's not a Raider shield, but you see how I have a bearded vet, a skull here. Let's see what he does with the pirate on his chest. Okay, I mean, can he fuck things up? Sure. But not any more than what's already been fucked up for the Raiders organization for a while, okay? Then we'll see. And I did want to get to what the chirping between John Leon and Ed Winchell. Hey John, who is the GM and who is the assistant GM? Who's boss? Seriously, okay. It's going to be like, yeah, they're Champ Kelly's scouts. Maybe I don't know whose scouts they were. I just know that they came in under, a lot of them came in under McShitnuts. I'll say it for Jack there, as he likes to make sure that that's said. I don't know when they came in. That's something I don't know. When did this new scouting organization, who's in there, and when did they come in? Because what they're saying with Telesco is that, you know, he picked the first 3 rounds pretty well, but it was his rounds 4 through 7. Now maybe that's where that they have the Champ Kelly in there to say, kind of like hey, you got the first 3, I'll take the last 4. Maybe.
Right, but he also hired an idiot of a coach who basically gifted the Raiders into the playoffs in 2021.
Okay.
There was no same reason to fire Anthony Lynn like he did, who was well liked with that team, and who's a player coach just like AP is.
Yep.
Anthony Lynn was a running back.
Mm-hmm.
So he was of the same mold, more or less, you know, that same type of make that AP is. But so trust me, if Mark Davis didn't basically tag AP first, this clown, if he was hell bent on bringing Fiasco here, he would have fired AP.
Yeah. Well, but that makes sense, because I even said it myself. I said the Raiders will do it the real, the recognized way in the NFL. They're going to bring in a GM and then they're going to bring in a coach. Didn't happen.
Right.
Didn't happen. But that's Raider. That's Raiderism. That's the Raider way is to do things not quite right.
Yeah, like drafting a punter in the first round or Janikowski. What? I mean that those worked out. Don't get me wrong, but unconventional.
You remember though that, and I don't know if you read the book, but when Ray Guy was the pick in '73, everybody in the room had Ray Guy as the number 1 pick. The offensive guys had him as the number 1 pick. The defensive guys had him as the number 1 pick. Everybody says, we're good everywhere. We need a punter. the reason why, and I'm trying to remember what the guy's name was. It was number 4. The Raiders punter before Ray Guy. I remember his name. I'm trying to. It's on the tip of my tongue, but he wore number 4, and he was horrible. And everybody and their mother said punter is needed at number 1, and we drafted him. Okay, so that, but like I said, and when we drafted Janikowski, yeah, it was a weird pick, but he still is I think he's still the Raiders holder for most points.
Yeah, right? I would imagine so. Damn near 20 years.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of worked out well. I don't know. I don't think that, and people are going to be pissed off at this when I say this. I don't think Janikowski is Hall of Fame worthy, because you got to get in somebody like Vinatieri before you start talking about Janikowski. If Vinatieri isn't in the Hall of Fame, I don't want you coming at me with Janikowski.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, well, yeah, Adam obviously should go in first, right. But I'm going to say, yeah, Seabass is Hall of Fame worthy in my book.
Only if Vinatieri goes in first. Okay, that's right. What I'm saying. You could talk to me about Sebastian being Hall of Fame worthy, but not until Vinatieri's in the Hall of Fame. And if Vinatieri isn't in the Hall of Fame, don't come at me with Sebastian. And I like Sebastian. Yeah, he's from Florida State. He's from the other school in Florida, and you know how I feel about that. But yeah,
right.
He's a great kicker. You know, but you know that's what I'm saying. Hey, I was going to say, Black Thanos, thank you, sir. I'm going to bring in Raider Mode because he's
all right, bro.
But
we'll talk soon. Thank you.
You got it. Hey, thanks again, partner. We'll see you soon, hopefully. That's Black Thanos. I'm going to bring in Mode. We haven't heard from Mode in a while. How you doing, Mode? What's going on, brother?
I'm doing good, Captain. Just been working a lot.
No, Mike. It wasn't Mike Eyeshide. It was Jerry DePoyster. And I as soon as it was Mike Eyeshide was before Jerry DePoyster. That as soon as I didn't look. You saw my hands were up here. I didn't look. Jerry DePoyster, number 4. Mike Eyeshide was before him, but Jerry DePoyster sucked so bad that everybody said it was Ray Guy. I had to remember. Thank you. I'm sorry there, Mode. I had to G Mike pushed me into the correct answer. I didn't look it up. It just it came. It was snapping. What's going on, brother?
Not much, just working a lot.
Yeah,
Finally got a day off.
Dude, take it from somebody that needs a job. That is a good thing.
Oh yeah.
That is a good thing. So what's your big? Okay, first off, you said you weren't happy with the Telesco hiring as well. If I'm not mistaken, I saw it in the comments.
I wouldn't say I'm not happy with it. I don't really agree with it. Yes, he brought a lot of talent to San Diego, but what have they done with that talent? That is the real question.
Okay.
And they're not really protecting.
I'm gonna say this though. It's like where he fucked up is his coaching choices. That's where he was horrible in personnel. Okay, his coaching choices sucked, and so that's why. So if you have bad coaching, and the guys that have talent are oft injured, i.e. Joey Bosa, i.e. a bunch of guys on the offensive line, and you bring in free agents who are oft injured, i.e. Khalil Mack. Although this year he wasn't injured this year, if I remember right.
Okay? He wasn't injured as much as he was
like normally. Yeah. And again, it was the bad coaching that's on Telesco. So, but he brought in some valuable players. It's up to the coaches to make them play.
And I think this is going to be an interesting season with Telesco because he has a coach where a lot of players actually have his back and they want to play for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
not saying he doesn't have that type of coach.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he has a lot of players who do want to play for him.
Yeah.
But we have more players that actually vouch for AP, not just players on the current roster. We have players that are alumni that vouch for AP.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody was liking the AP choice. I said this and I put it in an Instagram. I said, "Hey, nobody asked me, but I said, if you are going to do a coaching search, and this is an if and AP isn't your guy. That's the important part. And AP isn't your guy. This is the year." And I put in what is it? Vrabel number 1 and Pete Carroll number 2. That's who I would have had. And then I had Harbaugh number 3, and that made me kind of choke on my own vomit. But I said, if you're going to have that, if that is what you're reckoned with, then there you go. And I want to say, that don't impress me much. I don't know. I know that's the tagline, but I don't know the whole. Hey, so you're Taylor Swift. That don't impress me much. And it's the other girl that sings it right away. I just, I can't remember what her name is. She's the country singer, but I don't know the whole song. So I have to know it a little bit more than that. Mo, go ahead. Angela's in here.
By the way, you're Twain.
Yeah, Shania Twain. There you go. Yeah. So you got a truck. That don't impress me much. There you go, Angelo. Yeah, Angelo said it as well, Shania Twain. Angelo, you coming in late. I've been singing tonight. So I've been singing some songs. I started with the song from the was it not the electric company, Sesame Street. 3 of these things don't belong here. One of those things do belong here. But it's like I said, this is a trifecta. This is a trifecta of coaches. You got Andy Reid, you got Sean Payton, and now you got Jim Harbaugh. These are all-star coaches. But it doesn't matter. They don't play a fucking down. They don't play a down. And that's why I said, I'll take AP and a team that wants to play for them against the personnel that these guys coach, providing that they're the same guy. Like I said, it's the personnel.
Mind you, another coach that is a player's coach, and you mentioned him already, and you know how I feel about the real USC, the Trojans, not Carolina.
Pete Carroll.
Yes. He is another player's coach. So I feel like if we would have gone AP, I would have liked to see Pete Carroll come over. Why? Because he's also a player's coach.
Yeah. Yeah. And Pete Carroll, like I said, if you couldn't get Vrabel, and notice Vrabel still doesn't have a job. That's amazing. I think that Vrabel is going to come in and be somebody's defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I think Ron Rivera, who was fired in Washington, is going to be coming in as somebody's defensive coordinator. Okay, so that's just the way it is. But there are and like I said, Belichick's still out there, and I can't remember who, and I know who it is, but I'm going to say I can't remember who told me this. They said if Andy Reid wins the Super Bowl, he's going to retire, and they're going to have Belichick in Kansas City. Good. Belichick will destroy that team. Belichick will destroy that team.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's straight out of Compton, Ed. That's why. That it's the old thing. It's the NWA straight out of. It's like it's street cred thing. But anyway, and you're not in LA. You're still in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I'm in Arizona.
Okay, so how's the gig? Are you trying to get the gig to maybe TAD you? Are you?
I am. I just have to wait a while because we're still short-staffed at my facility.
Okay.
I did get asked to join our SWAT team, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
But
And you got to be. I know you're more svelte. I know that you lost a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I know you
but
lost a little bit.
I still feel like if I need more time in the company before I go to that,
Yeah. Yeah, no, John, no. AP was picked by Mark Davis.
yeah,
And Mark Davis picked Telesco because, and I agree with what Sharice said because Mark Davis picked Antonio Pierce first. So you knew who the owner wanted. So it would Telesco is basically Telesco is not going to come in and say, "Oh, by the way, boss, I'm shit canning the guy you just named as the head coach." That ain't happening.
yeah,
That ain't happening.
no,
I don't know. Anyway, but I'm glad you're doing well.
thank
Unless
you,
somebody
Captain.
else comes in here, I'm at close to the break, so I'm gonna make sure I don't run over.
Another thing that I was going to mention is
One
we
thing, go
have
ahead.
we have some pretty good matches going on this weekend. Um,
Who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think's going to the Super Bowl?
I want to say it's going to be Baltimore and Detroit
Okay,
with
that is the
with
least. That is the least objectionable Super Bowl for me. I don't want Kansas City in there, and I don't want San Francisco in there. That is the least objectionable Super Bowl, and then I want Detroit to win.
and this is why.
Okay.
Yes, Kansas City has a good offense, but I don't think their defense is well enough to
Uh-huh.
go up against Baltimore's offense, which is another really good offense.
Yeah.
But their defense is more caliber than Kansas City's.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to San Francisco and Detroit, I think I think Detroit is so behind their head coach, just like how with the Raiders, they are
Yep.
behind AP. The Detroit locker room is behind Dan Campbell.
Yes.
And I think they're going to do anything in their power to take San Francisco out. Now,
Mm-hmm.
do I think any of these games are going to be close? Yes. Both games are going to be very close. I think Detroit might pull off the upset maybe last minute. When it comes to Kansas City and Baltimore, I think Baltimore might have to make a little bit of a push, but Kansas City will have the ball last and won't even make enough time to score one last time.
I'm hoping you're right, man. Oh, Angelo, I hate saying it. The link. This is a 2-hour show, and we are at 1 hour and 50 minutes, brother. Yeah, so you got to come in a little earlier next time. Like I said, I'm mostly at 9 o'clock. I'm mostly at 9 o'clock when I'm on, on my show. So try to come in a little earlier. I know that you're out there in the West, so it might be a little earlier. But yeah, I want to keep it at 2 minutes, or sorry, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 hours. And I'm going to bed after this. Actually, I take it back. I gotta scan some documents for the lady that is trying to get me hooked up with a position, and I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I've been having some long days. Mode, I hope you're right. I hope it's Detroit, and I hope it's Baltimore. And yeah, Angela was in. And by the way, for those that don't know, make sure you are checking out Raider Transplant, aka Angelo Reyes. If you didn't hear his story, it's on the Protect the Shield program a couple weeks ago. I think 2 Fridays ago. Actually, 2 Fridays ago. We were both on. It was myself, Angelo Reyes, and Stuart Schweigert. 2 Fridays ago from tomorrow. Last week, Angelo was on with a couple people. I won't mention some names because I won't mention some names. But yeah, Angelo was on. I love the Protect the Shield host. Love him to death. Great stuff by Chris. Protect the Shield. But yeah, check out the Protect the Shield show two Fridays ago, and we'll go from there. And again, we'll have Angelo on again when it comes in. And again, get together. If you're not, I'm doing the PSA for you as well, Angelo. If you're not an organ donor, if there's something if you're okay with it, there are some people that religiously don't want to do it. But if you're okay with it, be an organ donor, because Angelo, and I'll give the quick story, Angelo had about a month to live according to the doctors. According to the doctors, he had about a month to live. He was saved by an organ donor. He's here today. He's a great guy. Protect the Shield podcast. Go see that. And again, Mo, thank you for coming in here as well. And I'm sorry I took some of your time, sir.
Hey, don't worry about it, Captain. I was actually going to ask, how's the job hunting going?
It's daily. It's daily. So hopefully we'll get something. Hopefully we'll either get a job soon, or I will have a opportunity at something that will lead to a job soon. All I'm just saying. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah.
All right. But hey, you take care, brother, and I hope to see you soon. Say hi to your uncle.
Will you be in Texas for the event?
Not unless I get some money. Not.
All right,
I
brother.
tell you what. Tell your uncle to fly me out there and fly me back, and give me a place to stay. I'll be more than happy to go anywhere, and I'm gonna say it. I said I'll go anywhere if I get some support.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's like I can't do X, Y, and Z if I don't have the money for it. And I'm not saying it in a nasty way. If folks want to have me go out to some of these events, I'll be more than happy to go. But I'm gonna need the help. That's just the way it is. But you take care of you, man. I hope to see you out there sometime real soon at something good.
Sir, yes, sir.
You got it. Take care, brother.
All right.
Arr, you bastard. That's Raider Mode. Arr. Good to see him. That's Raider Mode. By the way, if you don't know who his uncle is Oso, who is in charge of TNBC. And they have a bunch of events coming up. They have a big event in June. They have, I think their big events in June is in Dallas. I know that the Raider Nation Explosion is having an event in June. Captain Jack is staying here in Florida until such a time. And yeah, Kenny even said it. Protect the Shield is Chris. And again, if you're not an organ donor, please think about it. Please think about it. Hey, I never smoked. I didn't drink relatively. I don't drink. So I got some really good lungs. I got some really good kidneys. So somebody's going to be happy with what they get from me. Just saying. It's Thursday. I will be back Sunday. Ask Captain Jack show, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. If you want to get a hold of me, hit me up on IG. captain.jack.rack.em. Hit me up anywhere. Hope to see you. It's always good. It's always good to see everybody out there. Thanks, Ed. Ed, give me a ring if you can. Salute to you as well, John. And salute to all the brothers and sisters, mates and wenches, all the friends and family of Raider Nation. Salute to you. We will see you Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Ask Captain Jack on this YouTube channel. Take care. Yar, you bastards. Have a great weekend.